Okay, so I told you I would give y'all story time. In case you missed the last post that I posted, here is a picture of a snippet of our court order. So, long story short, it's a very long story, an ongoing story. My child is 16 months. We've been to court 4 times. I've never been the plaintiff, so which means I'm going into court defending myself every time. So anyways, this was maybe our second time going to court. The judge called for a private meeting with just him and the attorneys. He called for this meeting on like a Friday afternoon, and it was supposed to be for Monday showtime. My lawyer at the time immediately submitted a conflict of events because she already had court. All right. So because of that, that meeting shouldn't have taken place. However, the judge and the opposing counsel still took it upon themselves to have this meeting. Now, mind you, this meeting is supposed to be discussing paycheck stubs, right? So furthermore, they have this meeting. The judge makes a new order because he had already done an order from when we had went to court a couple days prior to that. In this order, he submitted that snippet that I just put, that frozen breast milk cannot be sent on visits, because opposing counsel submitted pictures of frozen breast milk bags that I was sending with my child when he was going to do visits. So I never had the chance to even explain this in court. This was just automatically added to the court order. Okay, if you've never gone through a custody battle, divorce, etc., it gets very nasty when the child is not the best, with the child's interests. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay, when you're not putting the child's interests first. Okay, so of course they're looking for any little thing to try to go back to court because of spite. So of course I'm continuing to send frozen breast milk because, for one, my son goes on a visit twice a month. So if you're unfamiliar with breast milk, it only lasts in the refrigerator for about 4 days. So because of that, I would pump and then I would freeze it, and then once he goes on his visits, I would send it with him frozen. So of course, because we were upset that we didn't get what we wanted the first time we went to court, we now are going to file me in contempt for sending the frozen breast milk. If you don't have a child and you're not familiar with breast milk, once you freeze it, I put it in like little breast milk bags. You literally run it under warm water for a couple of minutes, boom, it's done, right? I have previously unthawed breast milk and it was sent back. And just like if you take down a pack of chicken from the freezer, you have to cook it. You can't refreeze it. So then it goes bad, right? And when my son is with me, we don't use bottles. He's been exclusively nursing since he was like 2 weeks. So that is a waste of milk to me, period. And breast pumping mamas, you know, this shit is no joke. So now I'm going to court because I'm in contempt of court for sending frozen breast milk the way that it should be sent because of shelf life. So I literally had to go to court, and my lawyer's like, he wants to put you in jail. And I'm just like, this is so funny, because there's been way worse things done on the other side, but I would go to jail for feeding my child. Let's be so serious right now. Literally went to court for about 3 hours explaining breast milk and how you pump it and how you store it and all of these things for them now to update the court order. This is how much control they have over my child, okay? Because we don't seem to know what's best for our child. Collectively, we have to go to an outside source. Ridiculous, right? So yeah, now our court order says, so now I am allowed, okay, to send frozen breast milk because I have explained now to the courts how it works. These are our family court judges who don't understand the process of breast milk. This is who has a say-so, who gets custody of a child, what's best for a child. This is what we're up against. And now that judge has gone to civil court, which means civil and criminal cases come before him, and God bless y'all. Because if he was so ready to throw me in jail for feeding my child, I can only imagine, you know. Meanwhile, on the other side, I can't even get into, that's a whole nother, it'll take us all day. But he's like, so much other stuff slide on the other side. I'm actually amazed by how much they've gotten away with. But breast milk was the straw that broke the camel's back. He even made a comment to my lawyer that he does not care. But prior to me explaining everything, he called the lawyers into his chambers and said that he doesn't care how breast milk is stored. I'm in contempt, and he's ready to throw me in jail regardless. This is who has control of our lives and our children's lives, guys. Is that not terrifying?